What's the most high-risk, low-reward thing you've ever done? I once followed a young homeless man I just met because he wanted to show me where he was staying. It was nighttime and he invited me down into a dip in the trees. We walked through a dark section of forest, then he showed me some rocks and small caves with a couple beds set up. Then we left. I literally followed a stranger into the dark woods because curiosity. Suicidality. Never go with a hippie to a second location. Jack 30 Rock, edit. Plus unless that hippie is Carrie Fisher. YouTube video scene and picture of Carrie on 30 Rock. Writ to one of the greatest. Thank you for silvering uploading this fine 30 Rock quote. This was Asheville, North Carolina, hippie capital of the South, and after he didn't rape or murder me, he invited me to come hang out with friends, possibly do some heroin. Oh boy. I once climbed an old truss bridge to get some neat pictures of myself. I climbed under it and sat on the beams beneath the bridge. I climbed to the very top. I hung off the edge of the bridge above several rocks. Once I got done and showed the pictures to my friends and they said they sucked. Edit, thanks for the rewards. This is now my most liked comment. Thanks internet people. I'll also be looking for the pictures and if I find them I'll post them. Edit 2. I have one of the pictures I'll posted on my profile picture. Should have worn a Spider-Man costume. Would have made the whole ordeal look cooler. Come to think of it, even then most people would have described the pictures as crap or mega crap. Should just sell it to the Daily Bugle instead. Taking a year in a program I wasn't interested in to try and get a girl, who turned me down instantly. Edit, I wasn't horny, I was lonely, and we were good friends prior, not so much afterwards as shit got awkward. It was also my second year, so I did get a useless degree I never claimed for my trouble, social science. Don't feel too bad. I had a friend turn down a full scholarship to Johns Hopkins because she met a guy at a local college when we were taking classes there to finish up high school. She decided to go to that college instead. Her and the boy she changed her life for didn't make it through the summer. 17 years after she graduated high school, she's finally, this year, graduated med school. That hurts to read. Climbing up a water tower when drunk to find a friend. Turns out said friend was not even lost. He was yelling at me from the base of the tower. Oh, that reminds me. We got the bright idea to go rappelling off a cell tower at like 3 in the morning. This was not a spur-of-the-moment decision, it was planned. After we were done we were pulling the rope down and I guess we had left a knot in it. Rope gets stuck between the tower's vertical and horizontal supports about 15 out from the ladder we were using. Like it was stuck. At least 50 off the ground. I wasn't about to leave my $100 climbing rope hanging there, so I climbed up, no rope, and walked out on this 15 cross member balancing with nothing to hold onto. Made it to the vertical support where the rope was caught, kicked it down, and then had to make it back to the ladder. Obviously I succeeded, but about 30 minutes after I got down I had the worst stress headache I've ever had in my life. I was puking, my head hurt so bad. I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. It wasn't even that fun. A rock face is much better than just hanging in empty space and sliding down the rope. Edit, now that I think about it, it wasn't even my rope. I didn't buy my own rope until a few years later in college, so I risked my life for someone else's rope. How the duck did I get nominated for the suicide mission? Damn, this one is my favorite. Sounds like maybe by the end you didn't think it was worth $100 anymore? I think it was about the time I made it out, kicked the rope down and was shitting myself about having to go back across the span that it said and exactly how incredibly ducking stupid that was. I'm lucky to be alive many times over. Balanced on the top rung of a 6-meter ladder to change a light bulb at work. Edit, thanks for the upvotes. Yeesh, I've done that too. The downspout on my eave troughs came off. We were living in those skinny condos at the time. Ground level garage, living room second floor, bedrooms third floor. So the eave troughs were probably 35 plus feet up. I borrowed my father-in-law's extension ladder. It was probably 10 feet short. I put it basically vertical against the house, instead of having the bottom further back, stood on the top rung on my tippy toes and just barely got the downspout back on. So dumb. The downspout on my eave troughs might be the most hectic sentence I've ever heard. I started smoking. Like WTF is this stupid shit? It has literally no benefit, it just makes me uncomfortable when I don't do it and when I do it as well. Duck Cigarettes Edit. The response to this comment was unbelievable. Thank you guys. You gave me the courage to try to quit, which me like a lot of people also recommended Alan Carr's easy way to stop smoking, which I am currently in the process of reading, and I must say, it is amazing for any silly grammar mistakes. I do apologize, I am an ESL. I have been smoking for 23 years. Got a cancer-negative CT, haven't touched a cigarette in 2 months now. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the kind words, folks. Edit 2. I love you guys. My mom smoked for 30 years. She died from lung cancer. She was so addicted she coughed blood into the sink in the morning and lit a cigarette before her cancer diagnoses. She had painful black lumps all over her body. It went to her brain. It's a ducking painful way to die. Don't fucking smoke. Letting my mom count to 0. Once my mom started counting backwards from 5, and I started counting down from 3. She stared daggers at me and asked what I was counting to. I said that's how much time she has to stop pretending she was going to do shit when she got to 0. My spirit lives on to warn others of my misfortune. The perils of mistaking mercy for weakness. Sent my boss a glitter bomb, never told anyone who sent it. The whole organization, thousands of people, know it happened. Boss flipped out when glitter went everywhere. I'll never tell anyone. Edit. Nice. Thanks everyone. Okay, a little more background. No one likes this boss. I actually accidentally walked into boss's office the second after it was opened by accident. Glitter, everywhere, all over them, a huge pile on their desk, and scattered around the computer, keyboard, their hair, the carpet. They were pissed, and I had to stand there and wait for the reaction, which was nuclear meltdown. They tried everything to figure it out. The company is great and they will not disclose LOL. Everyone was questioned LOL. In the end everyone just went about their business, and the boss looked bad for blowing it out of proportion trying to rally their bosses to find me out. I was terrified I'd be found out and fired punished. I had already been fired from my position by this person for communicating a work stoppage. Edit 2. This was very long ago and I no longer work for the organization. They are no longer with the company. In a strange twist, the boss was removed from her position for being a monster. That sounds like low risk, high reward. The posting it on Reddit is high risk, low reward though. Hi, it's me, your boss. Oh shit. I was in band in high school. I had a friend from middle school that was also involved in athletics at the time, and the two of us were outcasts among the greater band nerd population and often got talked down to, which even our instructor would join in on from time to time. At the time, flipping backpacks was popular, taking things out of the backpack, flipping the backpack inside out, returning the items to the bag and zipping the bag back up. One day when we had a substitute in and he had the class watch the typical BS Mozart movie from the 80s again. I found a mega bag of zip ties and convinced my buddy to help me flip every student's backpack, zip tie the bags closed, and then zip tie the bags into the instrument lockers while everyone watched the movie. If we got caught and reported, the instructor 100% would have suspended us. So we were on extra edge, and right as we were wrapping up, the substitute locked eyes with us from across the room and realized what was going on and decided to pretend nothing happened, and we completed the mission right on time. The class was very pissed as the lights flicked on and they saw what had unfolded. The substitute came back for a class later that year and talked to us, saying he had to actively try not to lose his shit when he saw what was going on. I ducking love you, M.R. Hudson. Reporting you would have been a high-effort low-reward action for him. If some of the kids were acting up, it might even be low reward to just let everything unfold as it did. That, sir, would be the highest reward if they were acting up and you're a sub. I stole every wheel off the chairs in my high school's computer lab as a joke during a 20-minute break. I still have one of them. Probably could have gotten expelled just for a slightly funny joke and a useless chair wheel. I skipped class after a standardized test. Literally, the afternoon teachers were showing movies and doing nothing, and I decided it was smart to get in school suspension to sit behind a warehouse and nap with my dumbass friend. My senior year, I figured out that I was legally an adult, so I could literally just leave whenever I wanted. I was an F&D student, but when I started cutting class early, my grades went to BS and CS because I had time to settle in at home, get an early start on my homework, and still had enough time and energy to play games with my friends on Xbox Live. My hippie teacher I had a few years earlier once said, and he could have gotten fired for this, "Give yourself a break, get your grades up and skip class every once in a while as a way to treat yourself." Paraphrase. It worked, but I don't think he meant to do it once a week. Most of my teachers allowed, as in the didn't ask where we were, us to stay at home as long as our grades were good. If you started slacking off, missing deadlines, etc., you'd not be able to skip school at all. The last 2 years of HS when we were 17 to 18 was so much fun. Me and my 3 best friends would be able to sleep enough, do all our work, meet to play video games, and go to school like 2 to 3 times a week. We only had to watch out, because once your attendance in a specific class dropped below 75%, you couldn't be graded. Some teachers warned us beforehand, come to the next 3 lessons, then you can stay at home the next few, and for others, we simply kept our own logs. Sounds kinda stupid, but doing this I learned so much about work ethic, time management, and it gave me a feeling of going to school for my own benefit, not because I had to.